Okay, cool.
We're set.
All right. Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. First time you'll ever see me in makeup and clothes like at 7 a.m. because it's actually 10 a.m. where I am at. But on the use, you're going to see me rolling out of bed, which is why we do it nice and early and get our groove on. But the point of these calls are for us just to kind of collectively come together. I don't think I think that we learn from each other best, for us to share like best ideas. And the best feedback I got from last week was people loved the contrast of, the talk was on like, where, what is pushing you forward? Like, what is your why? What is moving you forward? What is, creating that pull? But then what is also creating that resistance? Because I think sometimes identifying, and I don't want these to be like concept calls where we talk about all the things that get in our way, because we all have them. But really it's the decision of, hey, I have it, but I'm going to do the work anyways. So it's also identifying what are kind of some of what's hindering us. So, and we can create more pull, right? More movement forward than movement back. And so creating that contrast. So today, I think one of the keys, like foundations, like we talk about building like cathedrals. Have you guys all heard that analogy? And I'm not going to spend the time of like, the bricklayer, the person building the wall, or the person building the cathedral, like the vision of what you're actually creating. But to build a really great cathedral, you do have to be a good bricklayer. Like, I don't want to make it sound like it's where it starts, because you have to set a really, really solid foundation. And I think in talking, like, one of the solid foundations is integrating our clients well. Like, our clients seeing what this really is, right? And we have a system for that. And I find that there's kind of, there's the system, and some of us are really systematic and we do the system really well. And then there's soft skills. Okay. So some of us don't follow systems well, but we're so good with soft skills that it's like, we can kind of wing it, like fake it till we make it, because our soft skills are so great. And the only concern with doing just soft skills is it's not duplicatable. It's not something that like the person that comes in that needs a really strong system can come in and duplicate it well, because your soft skills are your soft skills. So I think today we wanted to bring on some people that are newly integrating their clients really well, seeing the progression from new coach ED in a relatively systematic time frame, duplicating it with their coaches that they're bringing on, and same thing in the systematic time frame. So hearing from them, because we want to hear what people are doing right and what's working really well from fresh new voices, but keeping in mind today, like, do I know the system? Do I need to tidy up some of my systems? Or do I know the system so well that I'm not adding enough like flair, fun, soft skills? And where am I in that? Because there's people that are doing this. I think you need to mute somebody, Shane.
Okay, let me see.
Sorry. There's people that are doing the same systems, and if the shoe fits, wear it. But do you ever feel like, hey, I'm doing the system, but how come the person over there doing the system is getting a better result? Is that ever just like, I've had that myself of like, wait, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. Like, we think we're missing something, like what's the secret sauce? And then we hear they're doing the same thing, yet they're getting a different result. And I think a lot of that is posture and mindset behind the intention of what the result someone maybe wants. But a lot of it is those soft skills. It's that energy and that. So that's who we want to hear from today. So just wanted to kind of frame up the call of where we're going. This is maybe something you've all heard, but it's like, if you aren't getting the results you want, where can you tweak? Where can you, just make that little 1 degree shift that is going to exponentially change not just your business, but it's going to duplicate DNA down into your business. So always think in terms of duplication. So Shane, I'm going to pass it over to you because I know you have an awesome. Lisa, did you want to say something?
You're doing great. I'm just here for the support.
I love it. All right, Shane, I'll pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. So thanks for setting that up, Susan. Today, we've got 3 people that are going to be sharing their, just really, like Susan said, utilizing the systems as well as their soft skills, and really just developing a lot of clients, helping a lot of people. And it's really exciting to see. So I'd like to start out with bringing Becca on today and having her share a few of her tips with what she does when she's starting clients.
Hi, friends. Can you see me, hear me? Is it all working? Technology, so exciting. Yeah. All right, let's go. Hi. Okay, so starting clients well. I have really learned this the hard way because when I started clients in the old days, I'd be like, in the old days, it was like a couple years ago, but and my kids are waking up. It's all very exciting here in the Ing house. Here we go. Here, help me, help the people. So I would be like, oh, I'm going to get you only the best food. I'm getting you only the best food. And I would go like hand pick everybody's kit, and it would take all time. And then these people would call and be like, I hate the cinnamon swirl cake. And I was like, the cinnamon swirl cake, that's the best. Or like the brownie. What? I got you 4 things of brownies. Brownies are the best. I eat them every day. And what I learned, friends, is that just get the kit, because there's going to be things they like and things that they don't like. And it's not up to me. And really, it's not about the food. So I do hand select those 5 at the end. And I tell them, like, I really want you to try the select items. So, I do that. But, otherwise, I just get the kit. It's easy. I can put somebody's order in. I put somebody's order in last week when we were at the tech museum. Like, I can do it so fast. It really, it's gotten down to a science for me. And when you think about the time that you have in your day and what you can do with it, you want to be really focused on making sure that you're using that time wisely. And hand picking a kit is not it. I have my notes here on my phone. Here we go. I got to look up the next thing I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I do their order for them. Also, too, have you had people like, I have friends who do Rodan and Fields or who do other stuff, and they're like, well, just go in and do the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know how to use your website. It's complicated. If I do it for them, I'm so excited you're going to get started. Name, phone number, credit card, email address. Let's do this. I can put it in so fast. And then it's not a barrier for them. What I want to do is reduce barriers for them getting started. So I'm going to put it in because it's not a barrier for me. I'm excellent at ordering things on the internet. So yeah, there's that. Then the next thing, Habits of Health books. So the Habits of Health books are really the curriculum that we're using, and it's a really great way to integrate people. I didn't order them on my first order. This is a lot of real information. You guys didn't know about this maybe, huh? But but I did end up going to get them, and I don't know. Sometimes I have people get them in their kits, and some people the money is a barrier and I don't. But I found that you can get books used on Amazon. Susan and Shane, you guys might be like, who invited this girl onto our call? Anyway, and we have a used bookshop here called Grassroots Books, and they have tons of these Habits of Health books. Yeah. So I tell people they should get the Habits of Health books. There's multiple ways to get them. So if money is not a problem, I'm like, they're very worthwhile. It's very, it's all the mindset. This is the stuff you actually need. The food is a tool. We're going to help you lose weight, but if you want to keep this weight off long-term, you need these Habits of Health. This is like they're more important really than the food, because this is where the real value is to our program, is creating those micro habits and, being part of the community. So, I let people know that I don't want money to be a barrier. And I think the thing is, when people are first getting started, it's not that they don't have $350 to get started. They don't have $350 to waste, and they don't know for sure that this is going to work for them. So I want to just let them know this is going to work. This is a great investment. I'm going to help you see that. And then sometimes I'll say, why don't you add that in even on your second order? Because I just want them to be able to see, like, this is a good value. This is a great value, and this is really going to work for you. So am I supposed to talk about the text next person? So I want to say with the text, for a while, I had them stored on my notes, and I would go back and forth every time. That was a terrible idea. So listen to the next person, how they're going to tell you to automate it into your phone. So much smarter. I'm just going to learn by mistakes over and over. School of hard knocks, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for having me on this morning.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Becca. And I agree. I think just one thing that, like, getting into action and doing stuff is probably, I think, Lisa, you say that over and over and over. And you've built many successful businesses as well as this one. And it just rings so true. Like if you're in action, like whether you're doing it right or wrong, like we can correct it if you're doing it wrong. But we can't correct it if there's no action, if there's nothing to correct. So that's awesome. Susan, did you have anything to share?
Of course. Right? No, I'm just joking. No, that was great. And I think why we asked Becca to speak on it is it's like she's learned from doing it one way to go, you know what? Like everything duplicates. So here's the thing. If you handpick and you spend an hour with your client selecting like all what you think are going to be their favorite, and they become a coach, or when you ask them that they should explore coaching, guess what they're going to say? I don't have time to do that. And if you're getting that as a pushback of people that are saying like, I really don't have time, take that as maybe a clue and really assess like how much time are you spending with people? Are you making it so like simple and systematic that they feel they can do it? So even if and there's always the handful that like need a certain, gluten-free pack or something, but I still do the work for them. And the Habits of Health for me is how it makes it not a diet. So it's like, if I'm going to share something different and I'm sharing the 4 components on that first call, but I don't posture that, it's like I feel like I'm giving them only 75% of what we offer. I'm like giving them a whole fourth is gone. So it's just the posturing of the importance of it. And I very rarely get any pushback that there's not people want to lose weight and keep it off, right? Well then yeah, it's $36. Like I'd pay that 10 times that for the results that we get. So great job, Becca.
Yeah. So good. And I've recently been working with a coach and they were not ordering the Habits of Health, and like they just sort of shifted and they were like, yeah, like the last 5 clients haven't even questioned it. And we're like, yeah, well, you shifted that in your mind as well. Awesome. Thank you. So next we're going to bring on Brian Coe, and he is down in Klamath Falls and killing it as well, helping a lot of people. And I saw live last night. He did a great job on cauliflower pizza. One of my favorites. I was like ready to run out and eat some pizza. So anyhow, Brian, with that, you've gone ED in the last 3 months. So I'm just using these, things that you're going to share, and excited to hear from you this morning.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. So, hit ED last month. It was my 3rd month in. Had a lot of really great support from Lisa and Gary to get me there, and really leaned on them pretty hard. And so one thing that I wanted to talk about was really kind of a transition, soft skill on the week 1 celebration call, and how you can kind of transition a client to a coach. And so a lot of times, for me anyway, I've got a really good indication after my first week coaching a client on if I think they would be a good partner with me, for me to be their business coach and to help them start coaching. And so what we do, I like to make sure that week 1 celebration call is all about them to start off with, because I think that's really important to make sure that they know that you are celebrating them and it's not just a ploy to get them to coach, right? So obviously ask lots of really great questions about how their first week went, things they liked, things they didn't like, things that they might have some questions on that they didn't address with you during the week. But then just do a really kind of soft transition to, hey, you've had a really amazing first week. A lot of my clients who really jump in with both feet and take part in the group discussion on our Getting Healthy page, really put themselves out there. I'm like, hey, I think you'd be an amazing coach. Now, you've got to be careful with this, because you really are choosing who you're going to partner with on this. And so, if you've got a client the first week who, we'll just say, may not be the greatest partner as far as partnering up with coaching, you've got to be careful with that. But really, every client is going to be a coach, whether they know it or not. It's whether they're going to be a referring coach or whether they're actually going to be a health coach. So anyway, just make sure that when you do that transition, that it's a soft transition, that they still feel like that it is a celebration call, because that's really what we're doing with most of these folks. They've had a fantastic first week. We want to make sure that they're excited for their second week, but we also want to gauge their excitement with coaching. whether it's being a referring coach to you or whether they're going to be part of your organization. So that's kind of that part of it. And then other than that, I think that's pretty much all I was going to cover. So anything else, Shane?
If you have any other like tips or tricks, things that you're doing that you're finding successful, that would be great. But I love how you said everyone's a coach. Really, they're either a referring coach or they're someone that, you'll join and partner with you. Because we know coaches are 5 to 6 times more likely to maintain the lifestyle. And it's just in everybody's in our clients' and best interest to become a coach and or create a health environment around them. So yeah, awesome. Thank you. Do you have anything else that comes to mind, or that was great?
Yeah, the other thing I was going to share is, and you touched on it a little bit, is part of a really easy transition into from celebration to coaching is just to let them know that the accountability factor of being a coach, whether it's them referring their friends and family to you as a referring coach or becoming a health coach themselves, it really does create an accountability factor for them as far as staying on program, continuing to see results, and moving forward with their health. So accountability is a big factor there.
Awesome. Thank you. And congratulations.
And the thing is great. Can you hear us okay? We had to put our earbuds in. It was getting busy here.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. I'm good. Here we are crossing wires. But Brian has been fantastic about following the system, and he plugs into a support system. Like he said, we're there for him. It's because he's reaching out saying, okay, next step. And he asks us what the next step is. We're giving it to him. He's doing everything. He's doing all the trainings. Any training, if he's not on it live, he's watching the recording. And I think that's, some people are like, how did he go ED in 3 months? And it's like, he's doing all the work. He's doing all the he's got a checklist. He's doing it all. So not just one thing, he's doing it all. And I think that's the difference. I think there's some people that are like doing one thing consistently instead of everything consistently. And that's a huge difference. So that's what you're doing that well, Brian, and you're instilling that in your new coaches. And I'm excited for that.
And I would say, we haven't had to work on because you've got such great mentorship. But just bringing on coaches and they're all going senior coach. Like you have the mindset of I'm in the business of helping other people have a great life too. Like this is a gift I can give away. So I think for some of us, we get in our own way, and I'm going to be really bold to say we've made it a little bit about us. Like this is about me and my accountability. But what about other people and their accountability? What about other people and what they want out of life? Do you know people that want more out of their life? Or are we making it too much about us, and are we not offering it boldly enough to be like, well, don't they deserve the same opportunity, this same community, this, same thing, and that someone else got out of their way to offer to you? So it takes getting over some fear, like we talked about last week, but just
and over disappointments and little things like that. Just keep going. Just keep doing the do daily, whether you're having success today or it takes a little longer, some people. So it will happen.
All right. I think, Shane, you had a third speaker, but I'm looking at time.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I do. And I think we're doing okay. We're still at about 7:20.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to kind of echo and add on to that, I heard recently, like with our clients and our coaches, and take this in the right way and really kind of like listen to this. We're not here to be their best friend. What I want to encourage you is to be fall in love with their dream and their goals, and be their best friend with their dream and their goals. Help them fight for that.
Yeah, that's good.
When I heard that, it took a little time to simmer, but start falling in love with their dreams and their goals, because people will a lot of people don't have hope yet, and that's what we're here help them do. So do we have Christina Merman on? And if not, I know
Okay.
I would love to jump in and just go
Yeah.
after.
Well, I think
Or-
she's not on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She wasn't able to make it on, but again, we're talking system soft skills. So some of you are new. I just was able to peek through who's on the call, and you're like, well, what is the system? Someone says yes, right, to getting started. My desire is to make it as seamless and as fun for them to get into fat burn. Like, I want to take them from a yes, I want to get started, into fat burn. So how do I get them from here to here? And like, there's all the like soft skills, but the first step is facilitating that first order. Some are going to insist, they won't give you their credit card. There's always going to be fun. There's always going to be the few. So I'm going to talk about the system, but 2 words I want you to write down are flexibility. Stay flexible, guys, and use discernment. There's always a situation where maybe like there's a tweak to what we do in our system. Okay, so discernment and flexibility are 2 things we need to embrace as health coaches in all aspects. But the system is we facilitate their order, and for 99% of people, it is the essential kit with the habits of health. Right? There's always the few that have like an allergy or whatever, or something else is prohibitive. But most people, we posture that's what most people do, and most people want to do what most people do. Okay. Then I take their habits of health, or their health assessment that I did, and I stick it into my binder. And I would encourage you, if this is not a system you know well, take a little sticky note today and just write these little steps down so that when the next person that says yes, you can go boom, 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 and you can get it all done. And you can do all this in 15 minutes or less. Okay. You go in, place their order, you take their health assessment, and you put it in your binder, okay, at the front of your binder. I like to go to my calendar, and I do a paper calendar because that's what works best for me. Some of you use, and I like to set up my automatic text messages. Okay, so I use the days 1 through 8 and the messages, the 1 through 4 messages, and usually right after I facilitate their order, I like to just send them a very personal text. Like, I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun. Like, have a great evening. I just like to make that little personal connection with them, right? Like a little, kind of a thing. And so it also helps me confirm that I put their phone number, like plug their phone number into my phone, right? Like got all the contacts in. So I do that. I send a text and I schedule out like when I'm going to check to see when their order, is being shipped and all of that. So I go ahead and plug it all into my calendar. Next, I welcome them into the client group. And a great way to do that is to take a fun picture from their Facebook. So this is the soft skill. You could just add them in, right, without a welcome, or you can go and, add them in with a nice picture from their Facebook. I even like to use a app called WordSwag. A lot of you have asked, like, what do you use to make all your pictures with your fonts? It's so easy to use. Use WordSwag and write, welcome to Optavia, and make a fun post. Like, she's excited to ride horses again. And, I'm excited to support her towards her goals. Like, and, Sally, this is the page for recipes and tips and inspiration. Like, we're so glad you're here. And then as coaches in those pages, let's all support each other in helping welcome those people in. Like, that's what we can always all do to support each other well. So facilitate order, health assessment in your binder, send out that text, thread with and scheduling out your text. Welcome people into your client support. And then layering with abundance. Like, from that first call, like, who do you know that may want to start this journey with you? Because we found that people, just like Brian said, they're more successful when they have someone walking this journey alongside them. So sometimes they'll throw out a name like, well, my mom or whatever. And it's like, let's do this together. And it's amazing how many times you can start 2 people together right out of the gate. But layering along the way, like what our opportunity is from initially even in that health assessment call. And then the 1 week tip call that Brian talked about. And last but not least, like, we used to have to add people to our newsletter, but we are now using Optavia Share for our newsletters. So I think, Shane, you're going to just speak to that real quick today. It takes, but putting that in your schedule to send out once a week to all your frontline, clients. So system is facilitate the order, right? Put the health assessment into your binder. Send a little text, get connected, make sure you saved all their contact information so you're ready to support them. Put it in your calendar to check, like kind of get yourself set up for the week. Welcome them into your client support and start, layering with abundance, like what the opportunity is. It will take you less than 15 minutes from the time the person says yes to get them set up if you're ordering the kit. And then from there, it's like we just move right into the system. So some of us are doing it, but we don't add all the little fun, fluffy stuff. And maybe you want to talk a little on a few soft skills that you do that's why,
And I think it's important as other coaches when someone is added into your page is just everyone welcome. It might not be my client. Say Brian adds someone, we all welcome them and say, hey, congratulations, we're excited for you. We do a lot of the gifts, and welcome people. So we make it fun for them. But I also encourage my clients is, you know what, this is your page. So if you have questions, if you ask me, but you can put stuff out there. If there's something you want a recipe for, and, just make your support page fun and just being able to ask them who's noticing and start day one before they even order their kit is when I start dripping on them for coaching. And I do that by saying, you know what, I'm just going to put it out there right now. People are going to notice when you get your kit. People are going to start noticing and you become a coach. Everyone becomes a coach, whether you're a referring coach or an actual coach. And I know you're not ready for that right now, but just putting that out there, we'll talk about that in detail later. So at least that seed's planted before they even get their box. So in the meantime, their box shows up or they tell someone, oh, hey, I'm going on a diet or whatever. They'll say, oh, well, what are you doing? So at least it's in their mind that, oh, I can refer this person and get a refer, so just day one. And then when they get their box, I'm telling them again, okay, so you're going to get going, you're going to lose weight quickly. And then I go a little more into detail. And then on that 1 week, that's when we're saying, okay, here's the deal. You can either refer people to us and get $25. Everyone's coming out, sorry. $25, or you can, I'll help you coach them because you work with them. You're going to be coaching them anyway and answering their questions. And so that's just kind of what we do from the front end. And
wouldn't you say on the client support pages, one thing that works well is like if at the 1 week they're having a great week, encourage them to go in and post and share because they get that experience of, I find if I celebrate my clients in there, people always comment, but when they celebrate themselves and like share their personal journey, like other people really come alongside and they love the feeling of that. So it's a great follow-up next week. Like, well, how'd that feel? Did you love that? Did you see how inspiring your story is? Like, are they open to now sharing it on their personal Facebook page, like outside of the private safe group, right? Like, are they willing to go there? And many are. And when they do, they see, oh my goodness, all the amounts of people that in their world that are looking for breakthrough in their health. And then it becomes like, guess what? You're the one in relationship with them. They want to work with you and not me. I know you don't know how to do it yet, but I can show you how together we can help all those people. And so it becomes that's the system, guys. So if you need the little checklist of once they say yes to get them started, keep that like right by your little, like by your computer until you feel like you can do it. Like Becca said, like, on her head, like on a napkin or whatever. But when you're training a new coach, so I want to add a disclaimer before I pass Shane, we kind of open it up to everybody is as you get better at this, it's like anything, right? Like when people first learn something, they have to have this perfect thing, right? Over time, you feel like, oh my gosh, I can do this while I'm driving down the road, right? Take notes in my head practically, like on a napkin, place an order while I'm sitting at my kid's ball game. But when you're training a new coach, you guys, this is about laying bricks. So you can't train someone because that's not duplicatable if you're going to do it that way. Like you can't just do it on a whim and not follow the system. So if you're going to train a new coach, or if you are a new coach, confirm like you're on your call with your support system a couple minutes before, right? You're using the health assessment. You're sitting at your desk. They're sitting at their desk. We're training to, like how to train on the health assessment. You're debriefing with your coach to pick up on all those soft skills. Like all of it is, those little bits are important in a training module, but over time you can put your own personal flair. Like I don't want anyone to feel like stuck in a box to those systems, but understanding like everything duplicates. So if you've gotten kind of loose and then you feel like you're just letting everyone else go loose, you're going to have a lot of more cleanup to do. And then way down deep into your organization one day or whatever, no one's going to be following the systems. And it's much easier to set it straight from the beginning than it is to go clean up later.
Absolutely.
So the two words I use, flexible, stay flexible, because there's always like an exception. So I don't want, and use discernment of like the system, because sometimes we, if they're not on Facebook, don't get caught up. They're not on Facebook. Do I need to make them get a Facebook account to like be in my support group? No, you don't. Like, you can let them know that it's there, and if they want to do it, great, but don't get caught up on those little things. So, Shane, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. We're going to show, we're at 7:30, and we really would like to, respect everyone's times. What we do is we'll stop the recording here. We were going to go over a little bit about the client text that Susan mentioned, as well as the newsletter. However, Lisa Stewart has made a nice post on the text campaign and how to set that up as a keyboard shortcut. And we'll do a short one on the newsletter, and then we can go over it in a future email or a future training here. So with